Well, first of all, he has to look better than average. He has to look impressive. It has to be the kind of look that he gives off, fellas, that gives an indication that he's being developed, being saved. It's a lot to ask. It's a lot to expect.
Makes sense. I want a guy like Josh Allen, too. Like, every team wants that. Until you really watch him, he looks nothing like Josh Allen. Where at? Arm strength? They not even the same class.
No.
And then we keep talking about all this, like, this mobility and scramble and all that. Like, he don't run like Josh Allen. So what are we really talking about here, though?
Stephen A. Smith has rung the bell loud and clear. Jaxon Dart is not ready, and he is not the guy the New York Giants can put their full trust into. When asked whether Jaxon would truly be up to the mark in the upcoming game next week, Stephen A. didn't hold back. He simply replied that it's tough to ask something this big from Jaxon Dart, especially under the pressure he's about to face. What makes this even more interesting is that Stephen A. hinted the Giants might have been better off going with someone more confident, someone who carries that poise under pressure, Shedeur Sanders. But before we dig in, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss any update on our channel. But Stephen A. isn't the only one raising doubts about Jaxon Dart's potential. NFL Hall of Famer Michael Irvin also came forward with some strong words regarding the Giants' choice. Right after the draft, Irvin admitted he was stunned that New York passed on Shedeur Sanders, calling the move unbelievable. He went on to say that watching Sanders slide out of the first round was one of the most shocking moments of the entire draft. In Irvin's eyes, Sanders checks every box: confidence, leadership, production, and the ability to command a team like a true franchise quarterback. For him, the Giants overlooking Sanders in favor of Dart was something that simply didn't make sense. A sentiment that many fans and analysts around the league wholeheartedly agreed with.
And the value we put on quarterbacks in this league, that's shocking that Shedeur Sanders did not get drafted last night. That's just, and asking me what was the reason.
Irvin didn't hesitate to shower praise on Shedeur Sanders, calling him the kind of quarterback people have been watching and waiting for throughout his college career. He highlighted Shedeur's pinpoint deep throws and his uncanny ability to scan defenses and deliver the ball right into the hands of his runners, calling it out of this world. For Irvin, it's not just about stats. It's about the complete package Shedeur brings to the field. The fact that a quarterback with that level of talent and vision wasn't picked by the Giants left him stunned. Boomer Esiason didn't sugarcoat his thoughts on the matter, and his perspective certainly didn't ease concerns for Giants fans. In his view, Jaxon Dart doesn't fit the mold of the quarterback NFL teams usually want. He stressed that Dart isn't ready to step in and start immediately, and putting him in charge of an offense so soon could spell trouble for New York. Esiason even went as far as to call Dart a mute type of quarterback in today's NFL, suggesting he lacks the strong, vocal presence needed to command a huddle. On top of that, he raised doubts about Dart's mechanics, warning that the techniques that served him well in college might not hold up against the speed and complexity of the professional game. LeSean McCoy also came out swinging with his criticism, openly dismissing the Giants' choice to go with Jaxon Dart instead of Shedeur Sanders. McCoy was blunt. He doesn't see Dart as anywhere near the caliber of quarterback needed to thrive in the NFL, especially not one worthy of comparisons to Josh Allen. He slammed those parallels as completely baseless, insisting Dart lacks the skill set, presence, and overall upside to be mentioned in the same breath as Allen. McCoy even admitted he was super confused by the Giants' decision, questioning why they would pass up on Shedeur, who he believes has a far higher ceiling and a much better chance of becoming a true franchise quarterback.
It's nothing like Josh Allen. Where at? Arm strength? They not even the same class.
No.
And then we keep talking about all this, like this mobility and scramble and all that. Like, he don't run like Josh Allen. So what are we really talking about here, though? Because if you take a guy, right, you trade up to go get a quarterback. Cool, you must want him. And then the reason why you want him is you're saying in comparison to Josh Allen. I'm like, there's no way possible. So I was super confused with this pick. I will say, though, he will have some success being with Brian Daboll. I've been with him at Buffalo. I think he's a really good coach. I just don't know, man, if he will have the same success if he had Shedeur Sanders at quarterback other than Dart.
Adding to the chorus of criticism, Pete Prisco didn't shy away from questioning the Giants' choice either. He made it clear that he wasn't impressed with Jaxon Dart being taken so early in the draft. In Prisco's view, Dart is still a very raw prospect, someone who needs plenty of development and time before he can truly thrive in an NFL offense. The real issue, according to him, is whether the Giants are in a position to handle such a long-term project with their current setup. Reflecting his doubts, Prisco slapped the pick with a harsh C- grade, leaving no doubt about his skepticism toward Dart's readiness and overall future with the team.
Quarterback desperation is a strange phenomenon in the National Football League, and we watched it play out when the New York Giants traded back into the first round to take Jaxon Dart, the quarterback out of Ole Miss. Dart is a raw quarterback who will take some time to translate his skills to the NFL level. The offense is so much different than what he ran at Ole Miss. I do like him, but why not wait until the second round and get a quarterback, maybe even wait to get him? Why trade back into the first round? I don't like this move by the Giants. I give it a C-.
On the other side of the debate, some have stepped in to defend the Giants' decision to pass on Shedeur Sanders. Albert Breer offered his perspective, suggesting that Sanders wasn't quite at the same level as Jaxon Dart or even Cam Ward when it came to draft potential. Breer pointed to Sanders' struggles under pressure as a major factor, arguing that both Dart and Ward displayed more refined skill sets and overall readiness for the NFL stage. In his view, the Giants weren't ignoring a sure thing. They were simply choosing quarterbacks he felt were more polished and better equipped to transition right away. Albert Breer offered a different perspective on the situation, shedding some light on what might have really happened during Shedeur Sanders' interview with the New York Giants. According to Breer, Sanders was handed a video with several mistakes on the plate and asked to analyze and identify those mistakes. The catch? Sanders couldn't find them, which understandably left him frustrated. Here's where things get even more intriguing. The Giants made Jaxon Dart's interview footage available for everyone to see, yet Shedeur Sanders' interview hasn't surfaced anywhere. That gap raises a lot of eyebrows.
For Shedeur, it was about going and finding a fit somewhere. And there was no one who saw it that way. And I mean, I wrote it, I said it until I was blue in the face. And the closer we got to the draft, the stronger I felt about it. That at first I said that this was in January, February. I was like, I'm starting to think the gap between Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders is bigger than the gap between Shedeur Sanders and the pack.
If every other prospect's video could be reviewed and analyzed, why is Sanders being kept under wraps? It leaves fans wondering, was there something in his interview that the Giants don't want out in the open? Or are they just trying to avoid adding more fuel to an already heated debate? Stephen A. Smith has been one of the most vocal critics of the Giants' decision, and his stance only adds fuel to the fire. According to Smith, New York didn't just sign Jaxon Dart because they believed in him. They did it to deliberately avoid taking Shedeur Sanders. For Smith, this move highlights the flaws in the Giants' front office thinking, as he believes Dart simply isn't up to the mark for what the team truly needs. He questioned whether Dart has the leadership qualities, mental toughness, and technical refinement required to handle the pressure of being an NFL starter, especially in a market as demanding as New York. Smith's argument strikes at the core of the debate. By bypassing Shedeur, the Giants may have chosen a safer option on paper, but one with far less upside. He insisted that Sanders had the poise, presence, and potential to manage the spotlight in ways Dart may never be able to. With all the expectations and scrutiny that come with playing in New York, many share Smith's reservations about whether Dart can really handle the challenge. If he falters, this decision could go down as a major misstep for the Giants' future. What do you think about all this surrounding Shedeur Sanders? Do you believe the Giants made a huge mistake by passing on him, or was it the right call to go with Jaxon Dart instead? Do you buy into the idea that Sanders might not be as polished under pressure, or do you feel like he's already proven himself enough to be a franchise quarterback? And what about the missing interview footage? Do you think it's just being overlooked, or could there be more to the story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.